Hello, hello. What is going on, fellow concrete coating businesses? And in this masterclass series here at CoatingLaunch, we are going to be talking about exactly how you can get unlimited leads in 2024 for your concrete coating business. And so, for those who don't know, my name is Marko with CoatingLaunch, and we specialize in helping concrete coating businesses just like yourself grow and scale your companies through paid advertising, things like Google ads, Facebook ads, things like that. And like I said, in today's video masterclass, we are going to be talking about the different ways you can get leads in your concrete coating business, and specifically exactly how you can leverage these different platforms so you can grow and scale your coating business this year. So whether you're trying to go from one crew to 4 crews or 1 crew to 2 crews, it doesn't matter. There's specific things you should be doing to generate more sales and revenue this year. And I know a lot of you guys watching and tuning in today are, all across the country. So super stoked to have you guys on here. We're going to have tons of resources and things that you guys can get access to free of charge, since we're all about giving you guys as many things as possible just to kind of help you guys out. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So what we're going to cover today is how you can get unlimited leads in 2024 in your coating business. Number 2, we're going to talk about how to grow your coating business in general from an operations and marketing and sales standpoint. Number 3, we're going to talk about how Facebook ads work and the exact things that you should be doing within Facebook ads so you can generate predictable lead flow. And then we're going to talk about how Google ads work as well. So those 2 platforms are mainly what we're going to talk about in this video. And we're going to be jumping around. I'm going to be screen sharing. I'm going to be showing you some resources that will be super helpful for you guys. And yeah, let's just jump straight into it. So who is Marko and why listen? If you don't know who I am, that's fine. I don't hate you. I have a $10 million track record when it comes to marketing. We spend millions of dollars in marketing for concrete businesses and coating businesses and things like that. And we've generated over $100 million in sales from the marketing that we've done over the past few years. And, of course, we got marketing and advertising awards as a company as well. So enough of that. Let's talk about how you guys can grow your company. So there's different ways you guys can generate leads. Okay. There's different methods to generating leads in the concrete coating business. And what I see is a lot of people saying, use this platform, do this, do that. And the reality is what you guys need is just more homeowners raising their hand saying, hey, I need a coating business. Like, those are the type of leads you guys need. And there's many different ways of generating those type of leads. As you can see on the screen here, there's TikTok advertising, there's Facebook ads, there's Google ads, Yelp. There's so many different platforms that you can, partake in to generate leads for your business. And today we're going to be talking about Google ads and Facebook primarily. Okay. You can do Yelp, you could do TikTok, you could do all of these different platforms, but Facebook and Google are the most predictable in my experience, and what we've seen work really well for the businesses we work with. Okay. And you can see here, Lawrence, he owns Performance Floors. They went from 1 to 4 or 5 crews now in their main location using this system. And in the CoatingLaunch system, we help them with paid advertising, Google ads, Facebook ads. He actually has 3 locations now. So they opened up a Palm Beach location, and then they also opened up a New Jersey location. So they're growing, and Facebook ads and Google ads have been a transformative resource, to help their business grow and scale. And it can help your business as well. Okay. It can help your business as well. And it doesn't have to be rocket science. These things don't have to be like this, this unknown thing that we don't know how to use. It can be easier and simplified. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay. So why are Facebook ads the number one best? Okay. I know a lot of people are going to have their opinions on this, but just have an open mind here. Okay. So with Facebook ads, what you're going to get is a very large audience. Okay. This is what we call disruption marketing. on Facebook, your homeowner, your clients are scrolling on Facebook and they see your ad and they're like, okay, this company does concrete coating, garages, patios, things like that in Atlanta, for example. Okay. They're going to be scrolling on Facebook, and in that very moment, they're probably not in the buyer's mode. They're probably not ready to like swipe their card, ready to get started. Right. But they might show a little bit of interest and they might click on it, like it, comment on it, or what have you. Okay. And so you're going to generate a little bit of interest. And that's what you're looking for. On Facebook, there's billions of users. In even if you're in a rural market or a less popular market, there's still hundreds of thousands of users. And this is going to provide you with a massive opportunity for you guys to grow and scale with that. Okay. Number two is there's very advanced targeting options. So, here at CoatingLaunch, we use demographic targeting. We look at interest targeting, behavior targeting. We even have like lookalikes and things like that, because if we can create a lookalike audience of like homeowners that make over $100,000 a year, and we can create a lookalike audience of that, then we're going to target people that are like-minded, which means they're in a similar, lifestyle, similar socioeconomic, status. And so, those are the type of people that are not going to pinch pennies when it comes to getting a quote, right? And so sometimes audiences like that work really well. And the other thing is it's very cost effective. You have very low cost per click, and you don't pay per click, but the cost per click is usually pretty low. And so if you can have a pretty good conversion rate off of Facebook leads, then your cost per lead is actually pretty low as well, which is going to help drive more conversions, more sales, more revenue. Okay. You have really high engagement on these ads. So if I were to show you some examples, just kind of on my screen here, there's tons of different types of ads, right? There's image ads, there's video ads. We're just looking at concrete coating in general here. And all of these different types of ads are going to generate what we call engagement. And that's people either liking it, commenting it, or just subscribing to that kind of content, right? And that's going to send a signal back to Facebook saying that this person is interested in what you have to offer, right? And so, getting more engagement on Facebook is going to be super important. We'll show you in this masterclass how to do that, how to boost posts, how to do all those things necessary to, be successful with it there. Okay. And last thing here is you have detailed analytics. You're able to track things. I mean, performance floors, for example, they use Drip Jobs, which is a software, dripjobs.com. Let me know if you want 2 months free. We can get you that. Drip Jobs software will show you how much revenue, how many sales you've gotten from Facebook ads. And then in Facebook, you can see how many leads you're getting and how many, are converting. And so the analytics are super detailed, and it doesn't matter what software you're on. Most of them will integrate. The analytics are awesome and will be super helpful for you. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about how Facebook ads actually work. Okay. Because I think a lot of people are misunderstanding this a little bit. Okay. So let's look at the anatomy of the ad, and then we'll talk about kind of like how it works. Okay. So we're going to talk about what it is, and then we're going to talk about how the Facebook ad works. Okay. So if we were to look at, this company, or for example, it looks like Pelican. Where did it go? It went away. Let's click on a different one here. Let's click on East Tennessee Concrete. Okay. I'm going to refresh the screen here. That way it shows up. I'm going to click on View Ads for Pelican. And you can see here, if I click on See Ad Summary, this is the anatomy of the ad. Okay. So this is the page that they're advertising out of. This is sort of the headline out of the top, right? The hook. And then they're going to have their ad copy. Now, in my opinion, this is an amazing ad copy, but you get the point. And then you're going to have your call to action, which is get a free quote. And then you're going to have an image. This is your creative. So sometimes you'll have images, videos. You've probably seen like carousel ads. Carousel ads usually work pretty well as well. And this is your headline. This is your description. Okay. So in their description, they have 15-year warranty. And then their headline has a call to action, which is $500 off for your first time customer. Okay. So now that you kind of see the anatomy of the ad, let's find a company that has better ad copy. Let's just search, for example, the company we're working with, Performance Floors and Coating. And by the way, this is public, so you guys can see this if you just go to Facebook Ads Library here. But you can see that, if we look at the anatomy again, instead of buying DIY kit and trying to put down cheap epoxy on your garage floor, call us. Okay. So right out of the gate, we're essentially explaining to customers why you should even be talking to this company versus other ones, right? And you do not want to do epoxy yourself. You should hire performance floors because we're professional, right? Now you can see here you have different I would call these selling points. Like, what are the selling points? Why would people want to shop with you, right? And what you see there is, the warranty. Typically, you'll see what kind of day install it is, and also you'll see like different value propositions. Like, why should you shop with performance floors? Well, it's stronger than epoxy, right? And then you have your call to action, which is get a free quote, schedule your free quote. And then obviously, the creative here, you got a before and after, showing a before and after of a pool deck. So you're showing the transformation of what a customer potentially can get. And then you have your call to action, which is get a free quote, 1-day install, and 15-year warranty. Okay. So, and then that's the description, 15-year, 1-day install and 15-year warranty. So when people see that, they're like, okay, I want this done 1 day. This is a good warranty. Seems like a good company. Let's click forward. Right. So the goal is to get as many clicks as possible from the ad. Okay. So that's the anatomy. That's what makes up the ad. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. And what I want you guys to do is, if you're listening to this live, put in the comment section below, just put the number 1 if you're currently running Facebook ads. Okay. And put the name of your company as well, because I can actually do a review of it. I could go into it and see the ad you're running and see if there's any improvements that can potentially be made. Okay. As you guys do that, let's go to the next section, which is how do they actually work? Okay. What makes up a Facebook ad? Okay. So of course you got the Facebook business page, you have your ads manager set up, you have your campaigns, and then you have your targeting audiences, right? You have your ad formats, your budget and bidding, all of that good stuff. Okay. And what I wanted to share my screen on was an actual document that our team had made for us today for us to review. And you can see here, it's how Facebook lead generation works. Okay. So it's very straightforward. This is a auction-based advertising platform. And so it's competitive auctions. More people are spending money on Facebook ads promoting similar services in your advertising area. So the more people, the more competitive it gets, because more people see their ads as they see our ads. Okay. Ad quality. So you have a relevance score. Are my ads optimized for Facebook, and do they feel organic, or are people commenting on, are they liking your ad, or is the response negative? If the response is negative, then probably more people don't like it. Right. And seasonality. Are less people interested in what I'm offering based on the season? Okay. If we have, so again, back down to relevance score here, you'll have leading indicators like your cost per 1,000 impressions. Your CPM is the cost per 1,000 impressions. If that's a high CPM, that means the relevance score is low. If it's a low CPM, then it means it's good. Okay. Your click-through rate. The higher the click-through rate, the better the relevance of the ad. The lower the click-through rate, the worse it is, right? Because you're getting less people to click through. So out of 1,000 people, what percentage is interacting with the advertisement? How many people are clicking through? Okay. And then we look at this ad, right? This is where we want people to click, is get quote. So this is the click-through rate right through here. Okay. And then what we're looking at is the cost per result. So this is the lead. Okay. Not every click results in a lead. And so if your conversion rate is high, then you're going to have a good cost per lead, right? So at the end of the day, if all your metrics are good, your CPMs, your CTRs, conversion rates, all of that is going to measure how good your actual cost per lead is. Okay. And I want to break that down. I'll break that down in a document, kind of how that all works. Okay. And how many people on average see your ad before they submit, right? Leading indicators. Okay. Comparing Facebook leads. When it comes to comparing these Facebook leads, you're going to have inquiry, actual lead, and finished job. Okay. And so this is where, we don't need to get into all of this, but you want to make sure you identify, are your Facebook ads working? If not, why aren't they? And you start to look at, okay, the different numbers, whether it's CPMs, click-through rates, conversion rates, all of that. There's going to be different things that measure how effective the actual campaign is. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. And, with the leads themselves, right? Just a couple quick tips here. You want to have really clear call to actions. What we've noticed, guys, is the smaller the ad copy, the shorter the ad copy, usually the more successful the campaign went. So that's something to note if you're going to run your own ads, is like, just keep your ad copy shorter. Like 9 times out of 10, that's going to be better than making it longer and making things complicated. So you want to have very clear content and then very clear call to actions as well. That's going to help drive more conversions. Okay. And then your landing pages. Your landing pages need to be very consistent. And if I were to just show you an example here of one of the companies we're working with, your landing pages need to be very, very consistent, and they need to be good. So you can see here, if somebody is looking for patio floor coatings and you're in Tampa, Florida, and you land on this landing page, it's going to tell you exactly what we do and how we do it. So, okay, patio floor coatings, Tampa. Okay, give your outdoor space a captivating look. You can see different testimonials, right? Shows some more examples. Okay, these are examples of successful customers of performance floors. Here's a comparison of performance floors in other epoxy businesses. What are the benefits of getting patio floor coatings, right? These things, all this content on here is outlined in such a way to help the consumer move forward with the project, okay? And that's the last tip there, which was landing pages. Just make sure they're good. Make sure that your landing pages are consistent and you got things, pretty dialed in, okay? Now, if we were to compare this, if we were to compare Facebook versus Google leads, here's kind of what you can expect, okay? Facebook on one side is going to be for awareness, okay? Audience intent. Google is for high intent. Google, we'll talk about in the next few slides, is people need to search for what you offer in order for you to pop up. And so usually those leads are higher quality, okay? They're higher quality or higher intent behind them. And I'll show you kind of why that is. Facebook leads is typically definitely a lot lower cost per lead. Google might be higher, but it has a higher quality of lead. So both platforms are going to get you the end result, but Facebook's going to get a cheaper lead. Google's going to get a more expensive lead, but a higher intent lead. Okay. Conversion rates. Google generally higher due to intent. So the conversion rates of people converting to an actual appointment, because that's usually what you measure in this business is the intent behind it. And then ad platform, format. So on Facebook, it's very visual, and then Google, it's text. So, like we already know that. I mean, obviously you have creatives, you have images and videos for Facebook, and then on Google, it's more so text, ad copy versions. Okay. So that's something to keep in mind there. Okay. And kind of jump into the second thing here. Number 2 is Google Ads. I mean, we've been talking about it all around here. And, what I really like about Google Ads is if you're in a very big, like, metro area, you can have a lot of success with Google Ads. And the reason for that is because there's so many homeowners out there that are looking for concrete coating, epoxy flooring, polished concrete, all of those things. And so when there's a lot of people looking for it and there's a big market, let's say you're in Phoenix, Arizona, where we're at, or you're in Tampa, you're in a big metro area and there's plenty of new builds, there's plenty of new homes and plenty of real estate, then you're going to have a way better opportunity on Google as well. Okay. And we've seen companies grow as well dramatically through using Google Ads. And just a couple things here. Obviously, you're going to get high intent traffic with Google. You're going to have a wide reach of people, especially if you're in a big metro area. You're going to have a flexible budget. You're paying per click. So that's a very important thing to distinguish is if you're on Google, okay, and you search epoxy coatings near me, okay? And these are the ads right here. Brilliant Epoxy Floors is running this industrial epoxy ad here, or Quick Response Floor Coatings is running this ad here, right? And they're actually a client, but they, this company here, they're running this ad. If you click on this, they're paying for the click, okay? And so when you pay per click, you're not guaranteed the lead, okay? So let me say that again. When you pay per click, you don't guaranteed get the lead. So you can't refund the money. You can't get your money back. You just pay for the click because it's a high intent click. It's somebody interested in what you do. A Google Ads conversion rate from a landing page to an actual lead, like a good conversion rate, is usually 10 to 15%. If you're 10 to 15%, you're sitting really good, okay? And what that means for you is for every 100 people that land on your page, 10 of those people convert into a lead that potentially is a sell, okay? Not for sure a customer, but a lead, which potentially can become a customer, okay? And these are all text-based ads. You can see some images pop up, but it's majority text. Epoxy floor coating service, one-day installs, variety of colors and styles, financing available, free estimate, 5-star service. All of this. This is text-based advertising, and it works really well. Okay, it works really well. Now back to the slides here. You have a variety of different ad formats you can do. So you guys have probably heard of like local service ads or LSA ads. Those are becoming more and more popular. Um, Google search ads are primarily what we focus on and primarily what's going to drive most of the traffic for your business, just like the one I showed you on the screen there. But at the end of the day, you could also run video ads. Like YouTube is owned by Google. And so you could run ads on, when you're on YouTube watching a video and there's an ad and you get to skip the ad, that's a Google ad. It really is a Google ad, but it's just ran on YouTube. Okay. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And with Google here, you're going to have very strong conversion rates, especially if your landing pages are dialed in. So like the performance one you saw earlier, it speaks to the customer. It tells us where we're located. It shows them plenty of images and content of projects we've done, and also it's going to convert the person at the end of the day. And not at 100% because not all clicks are qualified, but at a good conversion rate, maybe 10 to 15% is kind of in the ballpark of where you want to be with that. Okay. So that's something to note as well. Now, let's get more practical here. Like here's some things you can do while you're watching this or after this training here, you could do on your end when it comes to Google Ads. Okay. So number one is obviously you have your Google Ads account. You want to create that. You want to configure it. And number two is keyword research. So keyword research is kind of what it sounds like. Looking for the keywords that people are searching for. Like what keywords are people searching for when they're looking for my services? So if I'm on Google here and I were to go to Keyword Planner, by the way, you could go to ads.google.com/aw/keyword planner, and this will bring you to a keyword planner. Now, I'm going to come in here and select, I want to do just Maricopa County because we're going to audit a company just in Arizona. Okay. We're going to do all of Phoenix, Arizona. Now, it's an epoxy business, a concrete coating business. So what we're going to do is we're going to do epoxy flooring. We're going to do epoxy flooring near me. Concrete coatings near me. Concrete coatings Phoenix. Epoxy flooring Phoenix. I mean, these are all the bigger keywords, right? Polished concrete Phoenix. Let's say you do polished concrete. Polished concrete Arizona. Polished concrete near me. You can add as many keywords as you want into this planner. And by the way, this is Google's tool. Google's going to tell you exactly how many people are searching for these type of things, right? Metallic epoxy near me. And I spelled that wrong. And let's just go ahead and click search. Okay. So Google's going to find us the keywords that people are searching for. Okay. And here's what I was looking for. It wasn't sharing my screen, but here it is. So epoxy flooring near me, concrete coatings near me, polished concrete near me. These type of keywords we're going to look for in the Phoenix market. Okay, we're going to click on Get Results. And what Google's going to do is Google's going to find, based on these searches in Maricopa County, it's going to find all the appropriate keywords that people are searching for when it comes to those categories. Okay. And so what you see in here is, if I scroll down, you'll see these are the different keywords that people are searching. Epoxy flooring, there's 100 to 1,000 people per month searching that in the Phoenix market. It's high competition, which means it's going to be very hard to bid on that keyword and not have to pay a lot of money. Okay. If you look for competition low, like low, this one, okay, epoxy flooring near me has a low competition, which means this one's going to be easier to rank for. Okay. It's going to be easier to rank for. If you scroll down even further, medium, this one has Concrete Coatings Phoenix. It's a medium keyword, which means it's medium competitiveness. And this has up to 100 people per month searching it. So what you want to look for, write this down. What you want to look for is the keywords that your homeowners are searching that are relevant to your business. Okay. Relevant. And then you want to look for low competition, low to medium competition. And then you also want to look for the average monthly searches. Make sure there's more average monthly searches on those keywords. Okay. So what you're looking for here, like this keyword would be really good. It's low. It's got almost 1,000 people searching that per month, and it's concrete coatings near me. This keyword is very strong. So if I were to go to Google and search this, okay, in the Phoenix market, and I can see the different companies running ads. You have Guardian Garage Floors, Your Garage Cave. Like these companies here are running these ads, right? And they're bidding on that keyword. So based on our research here, it's likely that they're paying $6 to $26 for that click. And from that click, they're going to convert them into an actual lead off the landing page. So again, not every click ends up being a lead. But again, this is a very good way of generating predictable leads in here. Okay. And so what you're looking at is different keywords that are successful. Okay. Let's go back over to the slides here. Now, as you can see here, there's campaigns, there's bidding strategies, there's different ways to do all of this. And we're going to have a more in-depth training on Google ads, Facebook ads, specifically where we'll go in, click the buttons and all of that. Right now, I just want to talk about just kind of holistically about all of this. But again, super, super important stuff here when it comes to, the Google ads side. Okay. A couple other best practices that you might want to keep in mind. And if you're working with another agency, let's say you're working with a company right now that's currently doing your advertising, bring these things up to them. Like make sure you have relevant keywords. Hey, what keywords are what keywords are we ranking for right now in our Google ads? Ad extensions. Like what extensions do you have added into your ads? And if I were to show you another example over here, concrete coating companies, these are extensions. Like this right here is an extension, special offers and get a free quote. Those are extensions. And so what extensions do you have on your ads? Are they driving more conversions? Those are the questions you should ask yourself, right? Your ad copy. Make sure that your ad copy is super unique and it's good. Definitely want to, have that checked in, right? And what you're looking at here is, landing pages. We've already talked about that. Negative keywords. That's a big one. That's a big one. People mess this one up all the time. Okay. So if you're on Google and somebody searches concrete coatings, let's see, search epoxy flooring jobs. You see how a lot of people search epoxy flooring jobs right there? If you rank on this keyword, which some companies might, I don't see any companies doing it because they have it added as a negative. So the whole idea here is you don't want to pop up when people search jobs. And so you add jobs as a negative keyword to your Google Ads account. That way you don't pop up or people don't click on your ad when they're looking for a job. Because if they're looking for a job, they're not going to be a potential customer. Okay. So that's not going to be a good lead. We don't want that lead, right? So definitely keep that in mind. Okay. And there's plenty of other things that you should stay away from as well, like salary, job, cost, maybe certain cities you don't want to rank in, right? There's different negative keywords that you'll want to add into your account. That way you can, predictably do that. Okay. Benefits of being on both, because we talk about being omnipresent all the time, having advertising on Facebook, having advertising on Google, and, all of these different platforms. And so if you're on both platforms, there's actually a lot of benefits that come with that. For example, you have a full funnel approach. When you use Facebook ads to generate top of funnel leads, and then you have Google to get bottom of funnel leads, you could really maximize and grow your coding business like you wouldn't believe it using that. You can have cross-channel retargeting. So if you're running Google ads and people land on the website, you can actually retarget those people in Facebook. That way you can get, you could follow them around the internet. When you go on a website somewhere and then you go to, YouTube, and then you see that ad of a website you recently looked at, same thing there. Okay. You want to use that for your coding business too. And then number 3 is you have consistent messaging. So, you have a very big branding play here. When people are on Facebook and they see your ad, let's say they're on Facebook here, right? And they see this ad here, and then they go on Google and they search, let me compare this company to other companies, they search concrete coating companies, Tampa, and then they see performance floors pop up. And now they're just like, okay, well, this company's everywhere, right? And so when you're in both areas, you just have a super big competitive advantage to, growing, the coding business that much more than somebody else who's not doing that. Okay. And again, that will tremendously help you, grow the business. Okay. Now I want to show you a little bit about the process a little bit, because, this is a big question people ask me too, is how do I make sure that when I run Facebook ads, when I run Google ads, let's say I'm new to this. Let's say this is let's say, I currently don't do this, or I currently do this and I'm not spending that much. What is a safe way to go about this? Okay. And usually what I tell people is I kind of map it out like this. Okay. So you have Facebook ads and you have Google ads. Both are good. Both are good. This is going to be higher cost per lead and higher quality. Okay. So that's something to keep in mind. This is going to be lower cost per lead, but lower quality. You're still going to be able to win customers from it, but that's just kind of par for the course, right? And then let's say you have $60 a day in budget to spend. Let's say you're a smaller company, smaller coding business. You're trying to go to the next level, and this is where you're at. So you have one crew concrete coating business based in, let's call it Chicago, and you're looking to, I don't know why I thought of Chicago, but you're looking to, get to 2 crews, for example, in the coding business. Okay. So your budget is $60 a day. What I encourage you to do is dip your toes in, move slow, start with some sort of advertising, make sure it works, and then scale it up over time. Don't feel like you need to start with some big budget right out of the gates. Okay. You can start with a smaller budget. And so $60 a day in budget. And, there's a couple different levers you'll pull in the business here. Okay. There's going to be the cost per lead, which is your marketing company. Okay. So we'll just put CoatingLaunch here. And then you have your appointment set rate. And then you have your sales closing rate. Okay. So your cost per lead, this is safe to say you'll get about $30 leads. Okay. It's pretty safe to say you'll get $30 leads in the coding market. Your appointment start rate, you want this to be 35% at a minimum. Okay. The coding businesses we work with that do, $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 million a year, they have a higher set rate and a higher close rate, but that's because they've been doing it for a long time. So let's give yourself some grace and let's put 35%, because we're not trying to, make it look like you're going to get bigger return than you'll actually get. We want to be more conservative with the measurements here. But the cost per lead, this comes down to having a good vendor, because obviously you don't really want to do this yourself. And so you want to have a good vendor. You want to work with a good company. Okay. That's just number one. Your appointment set rate, this is what you guys do as a company. And there's a couple of quick tricks. Like you want to call the leads right away within 5 minutes. Okay. within 5 minutes is usually sort of the rule of thumb. Okay. And you want to follow a script. And we have these, by the way. We can give you guys these resources. If you want to put your information in the comments or reach out to myself or our team, and I can get you some of these resources. Okay. So you want to follow a script that's predictable, a script that is predictable. And you want to optimize that script as you go, because you want to change it based on how the conversations are going with your services. Okay. And over time, you want to get the set rate higher, maybe 50%, 60%. You're not going to get much higher than that, but let's say it's 35% right now. Okay. Your sales closing rate, this comes down to, having wrapped trucks, showing up. You want to be on time. You want to be professional. You want to have a display of samples. Maybe you want to use like Flory, where it's like the floor visualizer, the Flory app, to show the customer what the floor will look like, right? There's different sales things that you can do. And really what you want to get to is a 35% close rate when you're in the home. So if you have 100 leads, 35 of those people end up scheduling a concrete coating estimate. And then from those estimates, you would sell at a 35% close rate. This is where you want to be. This is what I see most successful businesses being at, is sort of, in this ballpark. Okay. So again, if you have $60 a day to spend, you're going to get 2 leads a day, which equals about 60 leads a month. Okay. From 60 leads a month, that's going to be about 21 sales estimates scheduled. Now, hang on one second. I want to map out what a lead is. Okay. Because a lot of you guys are probably wondering, like, what is a lead, right? And what a lead is from our section here is a name, an email, a phone number, like an address or a zip code, and then the type of project they're looking for. Okay. So that's what we consider a lead. That's what we consider a lead when it comes to, marketing here. Okay. And this is exclusive. This is exclusive to you. You do not want to be working with Home Advisor, Angie Leads, or any of these other platforms, and any of those bad platforms. Okay. Now, from those 21 sales estimates you've scheduled, you want to convert at a 35% close rate. Okay. Which is going to be 21 times 35%, which is 7 jobs sold. Okay. If you have 7 jobs, let's say your average ticket $3,500, everybody's average ticket is going to be a little bit different. So do the math. This is about $26,000, in sales revenue. This is obviously not profit. Okay. But you get the point. If you're spending $60 a day in Facebook ads and you have what we call a conservative conversion rate on all of these, you're going to generate $26,000 in sales. The only way you don't is if you're not following this process correctly. Okay. That's the only way you don't. And I think we would all agree that if you spend $60 a day, which I think is, what is that per month? 60 times 30, that's $1,800 per month in marketing to generate 26 grand. That's a pretty profitable return on investment. Again, this is not all profit, but this is revenue, which you're going to have, 20, 30% profit margin in that. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that resonates with some of you guys. And again, that's, everybody's ROI is going to be a little bit different, but generally speaking, this is kind of what you're looking at in terms of conversion. Okay. Cost per lead, appointment set rate, and sales closing rate. Okay. And it's very universal across different businesses. So if you're a painting business listening, or, you're a plumbing business or whatever, your conversion rates are going to be pretty similar. Your cost per lead might be a little bit different, but this is what we're looking at in the coating industry. Okay. And for those who are wondering, because, here at CoatingLaunch, we obviously specialize in helping coating businesses grow and scale and things like that. What we have is the CoatingLaunch system, which will take care of this entire first section here. So we'll get you more leads to grow the business, whether it's Facebook ads or Google ads. And it kind of looks like this. So it's a done for you marketing system where we'll actually run your Facebook ads, we'll run your Instagram ads, and it's 100% done for you advertising. So you're not going to have to worry about, where your next lead or where your next customer comes from. We're just going to do all of that for you. Okay. And we have other resources as well if you're interested in that. So just let us know, reach out, and we'll give you those resources. And again, so if this interests you at all and you're a coding business and you want to grow, then definitely reach out. Just go to CoatingLaunch.com or respond to the text message or email, and we'll have somebody reach out to you and get you taken care of. But this is kind of what it looks like from a lever standpoint, and hopefully that is helpful. Okay. Now, back just one other thing I just realized is a lot of people ask is like, what kind of what kind of ad spend should I put if I'm going to do both? If you're going to do both Facebook and Google. And what I usually tell people is if if you're a company that currently does, over $1 million a year, then it makes sense where you do both, where you do Facebook ads and Google. Until you're at $1 million, just do one platform, probably Facebook. Okay. And then after $1 million, you could focus on doing both, but set your budget based on like what you've had, like what's worked, like what has got you from, 0 to $1 million. Make sure that's like 80% of your budget. And then the other 20% you could put on Google, or if it's the other way around, let's see, at 80% on Google, 20% on Facebook. I've seen companies do that too, right? And at this point, once you're at $1 million a year, you're going to start participating in many other forms of marketing, SEO. You're probably going to get your website overhauled and all of that good stuff. Social signals. You're probably going to invest in social media management and some of that stuff. There's a lot when it comes to, omnipresence and things you can do, which we'll be talking about into the future as well. But this would kind of give you sort of a basis of things that you should be able to follow. Okay. So hopefully that's helpful. Now, if you guys have any questions, please let us know. We have Laura in the group chat. We have Laura in the comment section everywhere. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, just put them in the comments and we'll make sure that you guys are taken care of. And that way you guys can, get your questions answered. The last thing I would like to ask you guys is if you're not in the Facebook group yet, you maybe you're watching this in the Facebook group, but if you're not in the Facebook group yet, I don't know what you're doing. So totally recommend joining it. Just go to CoatingLaunch.com/group and you can join the free Facebook group of Concrete Coatings Owners Group. And this is where you can socialize and really it's a community of like-minded concrete coating businesses that are looking to grow and scale and create tremendous impact in their business. So if you'd like to join the Facebook group, just join it. Go to CoatingLaunch.com/group. And the last thing is where you can find us. If you want any of the resources we talked about in this training here, put them in the comment section or reach out to myself or Laura and we'll go from there. Other than that, guys, I appreciate you guys. And we plan on putting a lot more trainings like this on in the future on Google ads, Facebook ads, and, everything under the sun when it comes to growing your coding business. So hopefully this was helpful and I will see you guys in the next one.